Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show. So nice to be spending time with you today, wherever you're at in your journey of the day, whether it's the beginning, middle, or the end. I hope it has been fantastic. We are so excited to introduce today's guest, but before I do so, please let me thank the sponsors. Without our sponsors, we could not have this show and be able to hear the amazing stories of West Texans. So, huge shout out to Omni Midland Hotel, Rig ID Workwear, the Laughlin Hotel, also to the Preserve, which is under construction. Check it out. Go to their website. Also, a big thank you to Midland Cap Company, ThinFR, and JoinCapClub.com, and Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial. Support local however you can, whether it's those sponsors, which we would love, or any of your favorite locals. We just are all about sponsoring and highlighting our local community. With that said, talking about sponsoring and just showcasing our local community, we have an amazing guest with us today. Please welcome to our show Katy Morrow. She is the president of the board for Spectrum of Solutions. Katy, thanks for spending time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you on and highlight this amazing nonprofit in our community. But first, I want to hear your story. I would love to know. We were talking off camera about, we're now Midlanders, right? We've been, once you're over 25 years, I think it counts.
Right.
We're official Midlanders. Tell me how you got to West Texas.
So I was born and raised in the oil field and moved around with my family, ended up in Houston for high school. And so when it came time to apply for colleges, I looked around, and the only thing that I could afford that was the farthest away from mom and dad, but still in-state tuition, was Texas Tech.
Nice.
And so I went to Texas Tech and met my husband, Paul, there. And as we were starting to date and getting to know each other, he said he was from Midland, and Houston kid. I mean, I knew Houston and Lubbock, and that was it. And I said, "Where's Midland?" He said, "Do you remember the little girl who fell down the well?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that had been fairly recently,
Right.
which again tells you how long we've been here now.
Hey, I understand. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and come to find out that born and raised, and I think live and die in Midland, and I love it. And it was a huge change. We'd moved about every 6 to 8 years with Phillips Petroleum.
Okay.
And
so oil wasn't new to you, just Midland.
Just Midland. Midland was a whole new thing. And we're not in the oil industry. We're in the natural gas business. So.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, this was perfect. A perfect place for you to be. A perfect transition. We have a lot of people that go to tech first, so we have to, you say, go Red Raiders.
Absolutely.
And I love that you decided to plant and really be here to raise family, to be here and to do all the things, right? Because Midland is a great place to be.
It really is. It really is. It's one of those opportunities to advocate for your hometown when we leave town and people ask where we're from, and of course, as you can imagine, the latest reference is, okay, you remember Landman?
Yes.
Oh, is it just like Landman?
No. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that says that. I say, well, there are things that are true in there,
right?
But there is a lot of Hollywood in there.
Exactly, and we're so excited that they chose to spotlight our area, but
not so much.
Come visit us. We'll show you the real West Texas.
Exactly. I love that. Come visit us. So yes, if you are watching Landman, come see us. We'll show you the real West Texas. Yes,
it's different.
But again, happy anybody is highlighting us, right?
Exactly.
Because it is such a great community, and it's people like you that pour back into the community that makes our town so special. So let's talk about Spectrum of Solutions. First of all, for someone that maybe is not familiar, what is it, and what is the mission of Spectrum of Solutions?
So Spectrum of Solutions was established over 65 years ago to support the community. There might be other terms that people are familiar with, but currently the way we describe our clients is they have intellectual and or developmental disabilities. And so our whole purpose is to integrate and support individuals with intellectual disabilities in Midland. And that's what we do. So we've been doing it
previously known as MARC.
It was.
A lot of people that are from here that have been around as long as you and I have been here.
Yes.
We remember it as MARC. But it has transitioned into this new name and still the same wonderful goal.
Exactly. Yes. So we actually are under Spectrum of Solutions, and it fits. It's a better fit for what we do and what we envision that we can do for the community. We have over 90 clients in group homes around town. There may be Midlanders who actually have some neighbors who are served by Spectrum of Solutions. One of the things that really drew me to our mission and our purpose is that it's not the idea that we would lock people away or isolate them from. Spectrum of Solutions wants to see that part of our neighbors integrated into our community.
I love that.
So,
as they should be.
Yes,
right? I love
absolutely.
that. That's beautiful. How did you get to Spectrum Solutions? Like, how did you, because there are so many, as you know, so many amazing nonprofits in West Texas. How was it that you got involved and then now are the president?
Well, so really it's Fred Newman.
Okay.
I have to give him most of the credit. So we have a son who's on the autism spectrum. He's 23 now, doing great, very independent.
Fantastic.
And when he was a little bitty, Fred and Chris, of course, are part of our extended family, friends, and we talked a lot about, okay, so what does the future look like with your family as it exists now that you have this other description in your and people say, well, what about the Morrows? Well, they've got this kid who's on the autism spectrum. That it changes things, right?
Yeah.
And so Fred got me involved as a board member, and I also helped with the visioning of the Children's Therapy Center, which, again, back for people who've lived in our community for a long time, is the former Midland Pediatrics Associate Building over by Midland Memorial Hospital on Illinois. We had originally thought, oh, we'll just build this large center and it'll be big and splashy, and then all of a sudden you think, no, we can do what we need to do in this available space. So we now serve really anybody from a diagnosable age, which is about 18 months, until end of life.
Fantastic.
In our service spectrum.
Fantastic. And that is wonderful. And let's talk about the services, because I think that is something that, a lot of people may not know all that you provide. You said that you help with, in-home care, but there's a lot more to that. I was reading on your website. There's so many different ways that not only the community can support, but that, that we can really dive in and volunteer. And, so let's talk about some of the services and how the community can get involved.
Okay. So I'll do it chronologically.
Sounds
so
good.
with
Perfect.
the littles, someone who you love, and actually in our case it was my sister, when James was about 18 months old, she said, have you ever heard of autism? And I said, no. I mean, he was just James, just James,
right.
which is a whole different fun story. But that she said, you might talk to your pediatrician. And anyway, so he started down that path. And so what we provide is everything from helping a family whose pediatrician, teacher, sister has suggested that there might be some diagnosis out there that would help in school or in making friends or your family dynamic.
Right.
And so we have speech therapy, we have music therapy, we have, let me think, what is the other, who am I forgetting? Oh, behavior therapy.
Yes.
Yes, we have behavior therapy for the littles. And actually what's really cool is because of my family's involvement, I have a daughter who is all grown up and has her speech, she's a speech pathologist.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And she works with the littles who are on the spectrum. And that's her happy place.
I love it.
So our
That's
Children's
fantastic.
Therapy Center has, as most speech and occupational and those kinds of therapy places have, a waiting list. But we try to see as many kiddos as we can for therapy. And so you can go there as a little person. And as far as volunteering goes, because they're in one-on-one therapy, there's not as much space in that area to volunteer. But then what we have is groups. So we have social skills groups, we have parent support groups, we have family support groups, and so then you go and you've got so much nowadays is available in the school system to support and help, and we support that. We have a music therapist who travels all around providing music therapy to kids in the school system. So we collaborate with the schools to see kids that may not have space in their day to be pulled out or taken over to a therapy center to get some therapy for them.
I love seeing how it's changed through the years, right? And I have to ask you, because you've seen the progress through the years with now, music therapy in the school system and all the services that are available. What were some of the biggest challenges facing you when James was little compared to now? Because now there are so many other services, which is amazing. I just love that for our community.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, back then it was nothing.
Right.
Not nothing. I mean,
right. It was
Dr. McFerrin was our pediatrician, and he said, okay, so, and for us, it was kind of a funny God thing. I remember when, and again, he sort of followed up with what my sister said. He said, do you know what I'm talking about? No, I have no clue.
Yeah.
And of course I went straight to the internet, but he wrote down, rather than writing down that James had a disability, he had a delay. Well, when Paul and I looked at each other, okay, so what if he's 35 and he acts like he's 30?
Right.
That's no big deal.
Right.
So anyway, it's been a fun journey, but as we were trying to find services, Paul and I have had the fortunate luck, whatever, in life that we could drag that poor kid everywhere. We went to Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. We went to the Family Hope Center in Philadelphia. We've gone to chelation places. I mean, you name it, hyperbaric chambers, there is a gamut of things that people with the best of intentions, hopefully all the time,
right,
offer as help and support.
Right.
Anyway, so we dragged that poor kid all over the country from about the age of 2 to the age of probably 5.
Right.
And the whole time, again, having the support of friends like the Newmans and Fred said, this is ridiculous. He said, most people are not like you. They can't or won't, but mostly can't drag their poor kid, take off work and go find some random, how does hyperbaric therapy work on your kid? And you can't try it.
Right.
So, and Fred said, this is Midland, Texas. We can do better.
Good for Fred.
I know.
Good for Fred.
I know.
I mean, really.
And so that's how the CTC came to be. Wow. So that if somebody has that happen in their family, pick up the phone and make a phone call. Yeah. We can help you. All right, does a special diet work? Do you need to put your kid on gluten-free? We have the resources and the experience to be able to help families sort of navigate that. Am I wasting my time?
Right.
Sometimes you are.
Right. Depending on which route you're going down.
Right. And I mean, there's some crazy stuff out there.
I bet. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Because I do want to talk about some of the, just some of the things that you should know, especially if you are a new parent and maybe there's some signs to look for, or stay away from the crazy things that, people are maybe trying to push on others, right?
Right.
So we'll talk about them in a minute. But first, I mean, your journey is just so amazing. I want to know, we have a quote of the day that we pick out. And so I'm going to have you pick one out and then you tell me what it means to you. So, and then they're your favorite quote.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here today in Midland, Texas with Katy Morrow. She is the president of the board for Spectrum of Solutions. And she picked the caring card because she's caring, of course. What does your quote say?
Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Les Brown.
Good quote. What does that mean to you?
It is a good question. It is a good quote. Because I think you're so afraid that someone will hurt your child or be embarrassed by your child or annoyed by your child. Because when you have a kid who suffers from some kind of disability, the tendency, you're a parent, right? Yeah. All you want to do is protect them.
Right.
And yet, to make us a full and vibrant community, you can't be afraid.
Yeah.
You can't shelter them away.
That's right.
One of the things that we struggle with on a state level, which I'm sure we'll get into, is that so many of the private organizations that support people with intellectual disabilities have shut down because of the lack of support from funding from the state. And it's an ongoing problem, and but you can't be afraid, and you can't take that fear into trying to manage it yourself. Again, it's a community effort.
Yeah, you can't just say, "Oh, well, since we're not getting the state funding, we're just going to do nothing."
Right.
You can't.
Right.
You can't let us go back in time. We have to keep progressing forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are only a couple of state homes in Texas. The waiting list for what is called HCS, it's just a classification.
Okay.
But the wait list is 18 years.
Wow.
So when you
Wow.
have a loved one who's diagnosed and you think at some point I won't be able to take care of my loved one or, family member,
Right.
they say go ahead and put your loved one on a waiting list because it will be 18 years before you move to the top of the list. 18 years.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That is insane. I
and
agree.
if you can
and
do,
is it that way all over the world? Just in Texas? I mean, or I should say that all over the country.
it's the waiting lists are long.
Long everywhere. So this is it is a nationwide problem.
It really is.
There should not be an 18-year waiting list.
No, there should not. And you think as a parent, and that's where some of that, back to the quote, that fear can take over if you don't live your dream.
Yeah.
That you could think, what's going to happen when I'm not here?
Yes.
What's going to happen to my child? What's going to happen to my loved one,
Right.
or the person for whom I'm a guardian?
Yeah.
The odds are the guardian is going to not outlive the client.
Right.
And then what?
Then what?
Then what?
Yeah.
And so we have this passion and obligation and determination to be around for a very vulnerable population.
I am so grateful that our community has you and so many others that are pouring into this dream of yours, right? Because without it, what would happen? And I hate to think that. So, and it's I know we're just
I
getting
can't
started.
even speculate because I
know.
think, oh my gosh, what happens if the doors close?
They can't.
They can't.
allow to.
They
So
absolutely
let's talk
can't.
about funding. Oh, well, first I want to know your quote you live by, and then we'll talk about the funding.
So the Hope in a Future quote from Jeremiah 29:11
Yes.
is probably one of my favorites. And I think God lodged it in my head when we took James to it's called the Hope in a Future Center in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And it turned out not to be something that helped James out. We didn't feel like that was super helpful in the long run, but it was that God has good things planned, and He's not going to hurt us.
Yeah.
So
I love
that's
that.
the one
Great
that has
quote.
lodged and it branded itself on my heart.
I love it. That's
So.
perfect. So let's talk about it. We know that now the funding isn't where it needs to be.
It's $10.60 an hour.
Wow.
And so imagine we have lots of clients that need to be kept safe and monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the state of Texas reimburses through Medicaid $10.60 an hour.
So you have to cover the rest.
We have to find out how to fund the rest.
That's unbelievable that that's all they provide. Because as you know, it costs a lot more than $10.60 an hour. So I'm sure we have amazing local philanthropists and people that have been giving for years and we want to shout them out and thank them because as you know, we have the most giving community I've ever seen. Really, when it comes to funding for our community, they give back. So thank you to those of you who are.
Absolutely.
And if you're wanting to, we're going to talk about a way that people can give back and help you reach those numbers that are needed, because we don't want this door to ever close. We want to keep it open and keep opening more for the future. So how can they help?
So they can help. We have a fundraiser, of course, as most nonprofits do, and we are starting a capital campaign. One of the things that we've had to do as a response to this long-term underfunding is
Was it recently
No,
cut?
we've always struggled. It's always been a challenge.
Okay.
But I would say in the last 3 to 4 years, with the cost of living jumping up from, I hate to say the C word, but from COVID.
Right.
And I mean, things
it's
have changed so
it's
much.
hard to not say the C word.
I know,
It's hard not to.
And we live in the oil patch.
Yes.
And so while we have a pretty reasonable cost of living, it's difficult when that cream rises to the top of our caregivers. A lot of times they'll get snatched away by somebody who thinks, oh, I want them in the oil field, or they see bigger money, and it takes a special heart to provide care for people with disabilities. That's not everyone's calling.
Absolutely.
So
So
we have a
it's been there-
fundraiser, we
yes,
have a
fundraiser.
capital campaign where, like I said, we're pulling in kind of a one campus, one purpose
Okay.
vision. We have what we call a dehabilitation center. So part of making sure that this particular group of people is continuing to grow and thrive and living their best lives is that they need job skills. They need sometimes life skills. That's the best way to put that for
Right.
the average person watching, I think.
Yeah.
And so we have we call it a dehabilitation center.
Okay.
Well, it's currently on South Street, and it's been well loved and well used.
It's a good way to put it, yes.
And the state regulations require us to have updates completed or started or
Okay.
basically, so it's not a new property. It wasn't a new property when we got it.
Right.
And so we are at a place where we have to figure out how to either update this, and the property's in such condition, that's not very feasible. I mean, it would be at least, I think we've estimated about $2 million to renovate.
Okay.
And if you want to know the truth, from the outside, it looks like a mechanic's shop.
Okay.
It's just corrugated.
It needs a lot of love.
More love than is worth that we could get out of
Right.
our ROI for that would not
Right.
be worth it.
Right.
And so what we are going to do for the immediate future is kind of pull back into our location on A Street. The community was so generous in helping us. We started with, okay, what's falling down the fastest? And that was our office buildings on A Street. And so we had to redo that. And while we did that, we've got this 2-story building that we are now going to populate with our adult clients.
Oh, wonderful.
For some therapy on the first floor and move everybody administratively up to the second floor.
That's fantastic.
It will be. So
So capital campaign is
capital
underway.
campaign is, so what we're going to do is the functions that we will not be able to fulfill in that it's a smaller space. I mean, it's an office building. We're hoping to build basically a metal building on our property behind Opportunity Park, if you're familiar with that park.
Oh, yeah. Took my kids there for years.
Yeah.
Love Opportunity Park.
Right.
Yes.
So there's space enough behind it to
Okay.
add, we just need, a kitchen to teach cooking skills and a laundry room to help you learn or continue to learn how to do your own laundry. And
So those life skills we were talking about.
life skills.
I love
And
that.
then we also have some kids who might be in college who basically just need support. There are actually several of our clients who go to Midland College.
Okay.
And so they might need homework help or just a quiet place to focus
Yeah.
after school. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's a big fundraiser happening in October.
yes, October
Yes.
23rd through the 25th,
Okay.
we have a car show that we are have expanded into a pre-party Thursday night.
Nice.
And then the cars start pulling into the Horseshoe on Friday. And then we have a car show all day Saturday. And it's classic cars and trophies and a trick-or-treat. Well, not trick-or-treat. What would you call that?
Trunk or
treat.
treat.
Trunk or treat.
treat.
Cars.
Yes,
Of
cars.
course.
I
Trunk
love
or
it.
treat.
Our car enthusiasts right now, their ears have perked, and all the parents as
The
well.
Corvette Club
'Cause
is
that's
involved.
Fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to take. I mean, I remember taking our kids to car shows.
Church of Christ.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Golf Course Church of Christ did that trunk or treat. It was
Right.
great. I loved it because you could hit all the candy in one spot, and you didn't have to spend hours out on the street. You could be in
Exactly.
one
And mom and dad
safe
can look at a
location.
car.
And we got to look at cars. It was
Right.
very cool.
Yes.
Well, I love that. And so, what's the best way for people to find out how they can get involved or how they can donate? What is the best way to reach out to Spectrum of Solutions? Because we want to get you all the help that you deserve. I mean, because it is such a great organization.
Thank you. So on our website, spectrumofsolutions.org, you've got QR codes for volunteering and donating and participating in the fundraiser. If you like throwing a party, I'm sure we can find a place for you to help us throw that party on Thursday night.
Fantastic.
That's what we're going to do.
I love that. Well, we hope that you can all go at spectrumofsolutions.org. So go to their website, find out how you can help and get involved. Before we, because I know we're getting kind of close to the end, but before we wrap things up, I really want to give some good advice today because you've been through the journey. And I want to just give some parents out there that right now, maybe they're noticing some things with their 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and they don't know where to go. What would you say to them?
I remember that it can be dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it can feel a little bit hopeless, But there is help. There is hope. There are resources. And to be brave enough and willing, especially when you're talking about, well, really, any developmental disability, the earliest intervention is the best. You can, and there are people who are willing to hold that hand back and say, I've been there, and I'm like one of them. I'm one of them. I'm tearing up a little bit because I think I remember meeting a mom who had a kid who was 16 when ours was probably 7 or 8, and I was thinking, and at that point, there are times that you think, I don't think he's ever going to live by himself. Right. I don't know if this is going to be okay. And talking to somebody who was there and saying, no, it will be okay. Yeah. I can't promise you that it's going to look just like my child. Right. But you'll be okay. They'll be okay. Yeah. And there are resources and there is help available. And so just reach out and know that there is a light. And not that, again, not that I'm telling somebody else's story, but we have a college kid who's living in an apartment by himself with a driver's license.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, I mean,
fantastic.
I think that there will maybe need some support. Right. Maybe our family will need some support along the way, but he's doing great.
Yeah, I love that. I love those stories. And I would say, don't be scared to pick up the phone and call. Right?
Absolutely.
Because I think that's, as a parent, you feel so isolated and alone when you're going through something. And I think making that first phone call is the toughest. So if anything today, pick up the phone and call and ask questions, because you have such a great resource with Spectrum Solutions.
685-9901.
695.
Oh,
695.
695. See, I've got everybody's cell numbers. I don't call their main number anymore. 695.
I was just impressed you knew part of it because I can't remember anybody's number anymore.
I don't know my kids' numbers.
I know. I've been trying to memorize a kid a day
Good for you. Yeah.
I got one kid down out of 4, so I'm not doing too well. But it is. You don't remember those numbers as much. So one more time, give it to us.
It's 432-695-9901.
432-695-9901. So call today. That's what my hope is for anyone who's listening today. If they have questions, if they're wondering if their child could be on the spectrum, have autistic disability, they could then ask the right questions, get the help, and live life without the fear that you were talking about.
And the great thing about Midland, so many great things about Midland, but the next great thing about Midland is that if you call that number and what you need is hippotherapy at Midland Children's Rehab, or you need aqua therapy. I mean, we work together. All of these organizations that come and talk to you about this, they all have waiting lists. Yes. And they all have clients. And so, but there is help. And thank goodness Midland is at the place where they're willing and able to help.
I love that. Well, thank you for doing what you do, and I appreciate you. We do something at the end of the show where I just ask a couple quick questions really fast to get, it's almost like a speed round.
Okay.
So here we go, speed round. Favorite book?
Favorite book? I can see it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. I'm terrible at the fast thing. Let me think. What am I reading right now? Favorite book. The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner.
Okay. All right. Good job. I'll have to look it up. See, I love it because I get to hear books that I've never, either never heard of or haven't read yet, because I'm a big Audible in the car.
Oh, yes.
Love Audible. Okay. Favorite podcast?
Yours.
Thank you. See, that one was easy.
That's easy. Low-hanging fruit.
Thank you. Favorite fun fact about you that we would not know by reading your bio?
I'm a golf junkie.
Yay. Oh, that's getting my heart happy right there. Love that.
U.S. Open pick.
Exactly. What's your U.S. Open pick this week? U.S. Open started today, even though this is going to air a lot later than today.
I've got to go with poor old Scotty. I love Scotty.
I do too.
Texas boy.
He just teed off, I think, right, sweetie? Yeah. Gotta go with Scotty. I'm with you on that one. Yeah. Okay, favorite. So what's the lowest round you've ever shot?
76.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Had a hole in one?
No.
Me neither.
It's on the list.
It's coming.
Yeah,
now that we put it out there.
Yeah, we've asked for it.
It's coming. I feel it. You let me know when it happens.
Yes.
Favorite course you've ever played?
Oh, Oh, that's gotta be TPC at the Woodlands. It's probably not even called that anymore. I played golf in high school. And
Okay.
when I was in
Fantastic.
Houston, we played, but it was the TPC Woodlands.
It's not Woodlands Country Club, right? TPC Woodlands? I don't know.
It's where they it's where they did the big tournament.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. Yes, I love it. Okay. I could talk golf with you all day, so we've got to go on to the other questions.
Yes.
Favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie. There are so many. Moonstruck.
Oh, that's a cute one. I love that one.
Yeah.
That is so
we
cute.
quote that one at my house.
That's awesome. Favorite restaurant in West Texas?
Oh, tough.
That is tough.
That's tough.
I know.
Okay, so Paul and I first told each other that we loved each other at Venezia, so probably Venezia.
Oh, that was near and dear to our heart too. That was our first date.
That was our first like grown up at a restaurant date.
Oh,
I know.
I love
so
that.
funny Paul story. His parents were when they were still alive, and he brought me down to meet them for the first time. And I brought some little dinky, I don't know, knockout rose plant, tiny little 4-inch pot. And I guess I don't know who he dated before, but Laura took one look at the rose and looked at Paul and said, "Don't screw it up."
I love that. That's amazing.
So here we are 31 years later.
31 years later. I love that story. Thanks for sharing that. And obviously he didn't screw it up. Good
didn't
job,
screw it
Paul.
up.
Good
Yeah.
job. Good job. Okay. Favorite life hack? Something that makes your life a little easier.
Depending on my kids. They know so much.
Yeah. I know. If you
I
don't
ask-
have technology.
if I don't have
do
the
you have
answer-
a technology question? Ask your children.
No, lots of questions,
questions.
podcast questions. I mean, when I'm I'm laughing about books and movies and podcasts but if I have any questions,
You go to
especially if it's about
hack.
modern day anything,
I
ask
love
the
that.
kids.
That's sweet. I love that. We're coming to the end, and this has been so much fun getting to know you
It has been fun.
more, and of course your heart for Spectrum of Solutions. But is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to add to today's podcast that maybe I didn't ask or we didn't even get to talk about yet?
I think if anyone has a heart for people and has a comfort level of working with people who are different from you are, this is a great place to be. There is so much joy when you walk into a room of our clients, and it's addicting. It's so much fun. We have fun Fridays at our Day Hub Center. That sometimes it's a company will provide the Kona ice truck to come over, and it's just snow cone day, or we have dances and it's always, you're always met with a smile and joy, and it's just the best place to be.
I can't think of a better way to spend your day than with love and joy. So
Exactly.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
we
Krista.
appreciate everything that you do for Spectrum of Solutions. This has been a great conversation with Katy Morrow, the president of the board of Spectrum of Solutions. But you can help. You can make a difference too. You can go to their website. You can donate your time, your dollars. You can go to the car show. You can be involved at the car show. And so find out all that information on their website. And are you on social media? So yes, okay. So social media as well. Follow them on social media.
See, we rely
Get
on the young
involved.
people.
That's right. The
young people do our social media. Not
See
me.
what we do. We look at the young people when we have those questions.
Exactly.
But that's why we have them, right?
Yes.
But no, we're so thankful for all that you do on social media too, because that is important, because it keeps our community connected to what's happening. So check them out there. Most importantly, just help how you can, because as we mentioned, the funding isn't there, whether it's federally, statewide, and we can do something here locally. So let's do it together. So Katy, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
I really enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thanks
and we
for
hope
having
that
me.
we hope that you will all share this with someone you love, and let's keep the giving going in West Texas, because we are all better together. You know that, we know that. We are just all better together. So let's support each other in this journey. I also want to thank our sponsors. Thank you for helping us be able to share the stories of West Texans like Katy, and also Spectrum of Solutions. And thank you for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Share this with someone you love today. And don't forget to dream big, believe, and never give up. Thanks for joining us. You make it a great day.